At this time, I want to call up someone who knows the failure of New York State's energy policy very well, someone who has spoken out on these issues for his entire time in the New York State Senate and the New York State Legislature, and that is our finance ranker, Senator Tom O'Mara.
Thank you. Thank you, Leader Ort. Thank you, Mark, for being here with the Plumbing and Heating and Cooling Associations, the pipe fitters that are with us today that rely on this type of work for their livelihoods. You know, we're talking about a comment period here today on the Climate Action Council, the CLCPA, the CCIA, in a nutshell, New York's Green New Deal. It's going to upend our entire economy in New York State. And the proponents know it. They openly admit that the overall cost of this is going to be near $300 billion to New Yorkers. Yet they have incorporated no cost-benefit analysis of what the proposals are going to cost everyday New Yorkers, business owners in New York, apartment owners, landlords, tenants, ultimately, for the cost that are going to come with this. And how do we know that it's going to upend our economy? Because incorporated in the language is something called a Just Transition Fund. And it accounts for paying the wages of individuals who lose their livelihoods as a result of these changes, paying their wages for up to 3 years. For what? And we're asking people to comment on this. There's nothing out there. People don't know. I'm glad there's some media here today to help us get this word out, because people need to know what's coming down the pike. We are moving in New York State at such a breakneck speed, it's going to crush our economy. It's going to further work to the detriment of affordability in New York State, which we already know we're the least affordable state in the nation. For putting all of our eggs in one basket. What we need in this state and in this country is a balanced energy portfolio so that we can account for fluctuations in different areas of the market. We can account for international issues that come to affect this. You know, the comment period is, first of all, way too short at 120 days. We're looking to push that out further so that we can have more comments put in so people can really learn, so citizens in New York can really learn about what's going on here. But this is all going on behind the scenes. Everybody's talking about the Green New Deal and how great it's going to be, not knowing what the impacts are going to be. And it's initially going to be 26% increase on your home heating fuels, 55 cents a gallon on gasoline going forward. And, you know, I don't want to sound like we're up here and we're climate deniers, we're anti-environmentalists, because we're not. We're for clean energy and advancing things forward at a reasonable pace, one that doesn't upend our economy in a short period of time and disrupt a workforce by planning to pay for 3 years of wages for people that lose their jobs because of this. It's wrong. It's not going to make a damn bit of difference in New York State's climate. This is a global issue. New York State accounts for 0.4% of global emissions. If we get this perfectly and we get to zero, which is impossible, if we get to zero in New York State, the impact upon climate issues in New York State will be nothing. No impact, no lessening of the burdens of increased hurricanes and storms and floods, no matter what we do in New York. The $300 billion, we'd be better off sending it to India for them to clean up some of their things, because they're the ones that are causing all this escalation and not taking the advances that we have in New York State, that we're leaders on in New York State, but yet we're going to continue to slit our own throat economically here in New York State, crush affordability even further in New York State, and put hardworking men and women out of work in New York State while driving up everyday New Yorkers' household expenses.